What's up, everybody? Hello. Thank you for clicking in. I'm glad you actually decided to watch the video. If you're new to this channel, please hit that like and subscribe, because I'm just a small dude just trying to make it. And we do a lot of different things on this channel. You know, if you'll thumb through some of the videos, we've got all hit and miss motors and tractors and three-wheelers, and I do a lot of repairs. And today, you probably found this video because you're trying to get the oil pan on your Ford Windstar minivan. And what is this thing? Let's talk a little bit about it right quick, and I'll run you through what we're going to do here. This is it's a Windstar SE, and the customer brought it in because they have a drain plug that's been stripped, and they don't want to put like some kind of, they think they did a repair plug already on it and it's something winky dinky. But so it's, you know, to be honest with you, I'm going to have to lift it up. We're going to take a look and we're going to see what we got to do. Maybe we won't have to drop the subframe, but if we do, we're going to do this video together, and we're going to put this oil pan on. All right, guys, thank you for clicking in. Be right back. All right, so we're underneath the vehicle. We've got it on a lift. That helps. Yeah, oh yeah, they did the repair plug, and that's not working anymore. And it just, I guess it's leaking there. And so it looks like we don't have to drop the subframe, but we will have to drop down the exhaust. And so what I'm going to do is, sometimes you have to heat those bolts, but you know, we'll try them first. And the impact gun actually works really well if you don't overdo it. If you kind of just blip it, don't just put it on there and hammer down on it. You'll break the stud right off. But if you kind of blip it and let the socket flip around and kind of flop against the extension, it'll actually kind of bounce around, and it seems like it jars it loose. So we'll do that, and we'll just unscrew the oxygen sensors. And the plug-in on these things, the little thing that holds it in is kind of strapped down. Well, I can get that. So we'll just unplug it. We'll get that oxygen sensor out of the way. There is another place that it bolts up over here in the oxygen sensor. If it's real hard to get unplugged, it doesn't look to be. Sometimes you can just unscrew them and just lay them up on the side of the frame there, but I can't get to the plug-in. And we'll do the same thing there, except for, you know, the only reason why I'll take them out, this one might not be a problem. It'll probably scoot right by. But getting down and out around this frame right here, when I pull this down, I don't want that oxygen sensor beating the frame and messing it up. Plus, it will help me clear. And then it bolts together at a flange right here. Once we get the exhaust out of the way, it looks like it's just it's gonna be an easy go. Or I better not talk too much. So yeah, stick around and we'll do the thing. Some of the basic tools I'm going to be using for this job, because Ford is kind of notorious, as well as GM and Chrysler. You'll see like sizes like a 10 and 13 and 15, 18, and the swivelly sockets are nice. You don't have to have those, but it helps. I'm stealing somebody's line. Anyway, and just gonna, you know, got some 8, 10, and 13 and 15 wrenches right here. Long needle nose pliers to reach some of the connectors if I've got to. I've got a ratchet that's 1/2-inch drive that has a flexible head. It's going to be real nice to reach up in that hole right there and kind of flex out, maybe if I need it to. And it helps to have one of these sets right here, or at least this one socket alone really helps out a lot. I use this more than anything really, because it's really short, so it doesn't flex out as much. It doesn't have as much room to kind of to spread like when you're way down here, you know. So yeah, so this is kind of handy. This is another one just like it, but it's set up a little bit differently. And same thing here, set up a little bit. It's a thin wall, so if you got to get inside like a heat shield or something, but you got to remember that, you know, the thinner that is, you have flex issues, even with your fancy snap-on stuff. This is a threader that I can chase the threads with if it comes out kind of boogered. Yeah, so but anyhow, so we're going to get the oxygen sensors out, get the exhaust down real quick, and like I say, I think really, you know, an extension that reaches down here and impact would be pretty handy. And I'm gonna put my ratchet or whatever right here and try to get as straight as I can with it. Same thing back here, just get the 2 bolts out, 15 millimeter. This right here is holding it. Take that off, undo that connector up here, and we'll have the exhaust out of the way. I've disconnected the battery just so I don't have any issue with touching any bigger wires right here in the starter. I'll have to pull the starter down. Give this a go. I think it broke loose. I think it broke loose. Let's take a look and see. That's a lot. Yeah. Got it out of there. And like I said, I think it'll be safe just to unplug the rest of the stuff. I'm just getting that out of there so I don't damage the thingy-majingy. Okay, so I'm going to use a impact swivelly, but you really want to use that when you're using an impact gun. If you use a regular swivelly on an impact gun, you're going to have a mess on your hands. It'll break the little universal joint. These are designed a little differently. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get a cheap set and be pretty good. This is a cheap set, but it's 13 millimeter. We're going to remove the back side of the exhaust pipe flange. It seems to be well hung by the rubber hanger, so we won't have to support it. So it looks like the bolts are kind of seized by rust, so we'll heat those and get them. I'll take the torch, we'll heat them up and get them broke loose like that. A piece of dirt got on the end of my nozzle at the end, but we got it. Okay, so I will now be pulling down the exhaust. We'll see what happens here. We got oxygen sensor to take down. Okay. So like here we are. I've got the starter. I didn't just all I did was just laid it over here out of the way. It's fine like that. You know, we don't have to unhook all those fancy wires and stuff. Got the little heat shield that kind of goes between it, and just propped it up out of the way over there. We're going to remove the bolts that go around the bottom here and up there, and then there looks like there's a perimeter of bolts, and then you got this other thing up here that holds all this stuff on the engine. And I do not think you have to remove that. I think I can just take that bolt out the way it steps up there, and we're going to try to just fish the pin out of here. What do you think, guys? Think we can do it? All right, stick around. Okay, so I've got the oil pan off. It's the next day. I was working late last night when we were shooting this video, so we got the doors open, so it's kind of bright. So forgive me for the contrast. We're going to flip the camera around so you can see what the bottom side looks like. And I was able to, once I got the bolts that secured the oil pan around the circumference, and also the few other bolts that were held in a 13 millimeter, that once I broke the sealant loose, I was able to, excuse me, I'm looking for customers. I was able to kind of just, you know, the oil pan just worked it a little bit, moved it, and it came right down without any issue. I removed the oil filter as well. The oil filter was kind of holding me off. Let's take a look up here and see what we got. So here it is. This is what we're at. And you can see that really the main gasket surface for this pan, of course, you know, we're changing this because of the stripped out drain plug. It's just some sealant that they use that goes around the circumference. And they use a couple little end cap seals. Well, they have those in the thing, but I think I'm just going to put sealant. This is what they send you for a gasket set. They go, there you go, take that right there. Yeah, I don't know. Let's look. It's on the back side of this. Oh yeah, it does. It has a cap seal right there. Okay, so we'll put that in and use our sealant that goes around the circumference of it, and then we'll start putting it back together. But like I say, it takes a little time. I had to heat some bolts up to fix this. I had to heat those, and I had to heat the other ones. We saw that earlier I was heating those. I got all that broke loose and didn't tear anything up, and removed all the necessary stuff. The oil pan came off without having to take the subframe down, which was beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, so we'll be right back here. This oil pan's got the who? Yeah, I didn't get here till about 8:50. So this is one of the longer bolts. The longer bolts goes in the very back of the oil pan. It has a raised part there, so you put the longer ones of these bolts into the oil pan, and then you want to, by the way, the little rubber seal right here, you want to clean those galleys out real good and put a dab of sealer on each end of that rubber so that it seals up in those corner holes. All right, so we've got it all back together. I've been driving it around and no leaks. Where we worked on it, and we got it sealed up good, so that's great. And I just want to thank you guys for watching, and you know, please don't forget to kind of hit that like button if you can, you know, maybe share it just for the heck of it if you Facebook, that way people can get the word out about this channel. And you know, just thank you again. Thank you very much. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the week ahead. We'll fix the team, and I'm out.